Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Marcia from Lake Whitney Library and my friend Baylor Bear. We're back here for story time. This week, remember, we're all wearing our masks. This week, we are going to read a story about outer space. And we have some special coloring pages and crafts for you to do from about things in outer space. So we're going to read a story. I'm going to show you some special books that we have here at the library that you can check out, take home, and learn more about stars and the moon and all of space. So we also have this fun story that we're going to read right now. We're going to start out with a book called The Mice on the Moon by Rodney Pepe. This is a very cute book. Pip and his brothers and sisters found the biggest firework they had ever seen. "It's dangerous," said Pip. "Yes," said Sue, "we must not touch it." So they hurried home to the shoe house to tell the grown-ups all about it. "What's all the fuss about?" That's the grandpa. "What's all the fuss about?" The family went to see the giant rocket. "Look," said Pa, "the blue fuse hasn't even been lit." "You were right not to touch it, children," Grandpa observed. "On a good day, it might just reach the moon." That night, at story time, Pip asked Grandpa, "Could we really fly to the moon in that rocket?" And Grandpa replied, "We'd never get back to Earth." "We could," persisted Pip, "if we built a spaceship." "For a little mouse, that's a very big idea," said Grandpa. The next day, Pip and his brothers and sisters went to D-Rat, the junk dealer, to find a strong, empty carton.
"Don't mess up my egg boxes,"
he snapped. "I think I'm stuck. I like to keep them tidy." This is Mr. D-Rat. Pip paid for the empty carton. "And what are you going to do with that?" inquired D-Rat suspiciously. "It's a surprise," said Pip. D-Rat's thinking, what's their game? He didn't like surprises. "It's a wonderful egg carton," said Ma. "It will make a fine spaceship," said Grandpa. "Of course," said Ma. "Why didn't I think of that?" Pip explained to the family his idea of flying to the moon in an egg box. And to offer encouragement, Grandpa said, with a wink, "Everyone knows the moon is made of cheese." So they all set to work making a spaceship. But nobody noticed that D-Rat was watching. So that's their plan. When the spaceship was finished, they took it to the launch pad. And who should be inspecting the rocket but D-Rat? "How clever you've been with my egg box," he observed. "Flying to the moon, are we?" Though the mice couldn't understand why D-Rat was most helpful, almost too helpful. "Let me lend you a paw," he said, tying their spaceship to the rocket. He even offered to light the fuse.
"Ignition!" screamed D-Rat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off! The rocket fired and moved slowly upward, faster and faster, up high in the sky. Soon the mice were on their way to the moon. "Now is the time to cut the string," said Grandpa, and they separated from the rocket. The rocket streaked past them with an orange flash. At last the mice were in outer space. They came out on the deck to look back at Earth. There's the Earth. "There's our shoe house. What a wonderful world." That is, all except Grandma, who was driving. "I'll turn the landing motors on. We're going to land on the moon." The surface was full of holes, and it did look just like a huge round cheese. "Pip," called Grandpa, "you must be the first mouse on the moon." So Pip climbed down and stepped onto the surface. "That's one small step for a mouse," said Pa, "and one giant leap for a mouse kind," said Ma. The first thing Pip did was dig into the surface with his shovel. "That's not cheese, Grandpa." "Dear me," said Grandpa, "I must have been misinformed." But the children were far too excited to worry about the cheese. Soon they were leaping about like kangaroos. They weighed much less on the moon. Giant leaps were so easy. "Whee!" went Pip as he sailed over a rock. "Come on, let's explore the moon," Ma said. Ma said, "Don't stray too far from the spaceship," as the others followed Pip. But with such giant leaps, the children were soon far away. They gathered around some rocks and couldn't believe their eyes. There, in a crater, was the crashed rocket. "Ah, little mice," came a familiar voice. "I hitched a ride on your rocket and got here first. The moon is mine and all the cheese." "There isn't any cheese, D-Rat," said Pip. "Rubbish! Everyone knows the moon is made of cheese," argued D-Rat, echoing Grandpa's words. D-Rat patted his pockets, which were full of gunpowder from the rocket. "Start digging," he ordered, "or I'll blow up your spaceship." So Pip began to dig until he got tired. "Keep going," snarled D-Rat, "or you'll soon get through the cheese." But Grandpa came to the rescue. "No profit in that, D-Rat," he called from the rocks. "You can't get back to Earth without the spaceship." "Drat," said D-Rat. "I hadn't thought of that." He kicked at a rock and then brightened. "Does that mean," he wheedled, "that you have room for one more aboard?" The spaceship slowly lifted off the surface of the moon, and it began its journey back to Earth. The mice were safely inside, but D-Rat had to take his chance outside. As the mice floated to Earth with D-Rat a little singed, Ma said, "I was lucky, it was lucky. I made the parachutes. We'll soon be home," shouted Grandpa. "Ah," sighed Pip, "cheese at last." The end. There's their spaceship. Thank you. All right, now I want to show you this. Remember the picture in the book of Earth? Do you remember the picture in the book of the Earth? Well, we were sent these special activity package from the National Aeronautics Space Administration, who are trying to get out the word about the space program. And they sent these great kits to make this wonderful little collage of the Earth that you can hang. You can actually hang it in your window, and it's very pretty. It's like a stained glass Earth. So when you come by the library or send your parents by the library, remember to ask for the stained glass Earth kit. We also have some really great coloring pages. S for space, one with a space scene, some little connect the dots, all kinds of things to help you have something to do. Remember, the library has many, many wonderful books about space. I'm just going to show you a few. This one is just called Space, and it has all kinds of information. You could even do a report on space from all the information in these books. This one is Can Astronauts See Me? And it has a lot of questions and answers as well. Another sweet story called The Sea of Tranquility about going to the moon. The Big First Book of Space, which again has great pictures and great information about space. We have more and more books about the stars, our solar system, the frontiers of space, outer planets, stars and planets, mysteries of the universe, and Ripley's Believe It or Not Space book. So, don't forget to come by the library. Tell us what books you want. We will bring your books outdoors, and we will bring you an activity packet and a craft. Don't forget, come by soon. We can't wait to see you. Goodbye.